I wanted to take a minute to show you how to go through and order the products in a little bit different way. I've got the Griffiths order up, which to me looks like the first one that you ordered based on the uh, the order forms that you sent in. So if I go to the parts list on here, I know you probably used this export to WIPs order previously. What I want to show you is the order via inventory tool. And the inventory tool will help you manage excess inventory. It will also speed up your ordering process, but it does take a little discipline to properly maintain your inventory. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the order via inventory tool. And it looked like to me off of your orders, you had the 60 millimeter installation or cabinet screws already in stock, or you've purchased them elsewhere. So before I do any of the orders, one of the things I can do is I can add that item to the inventory. So I can just search in this corner 60 millimeter, and it'll pull up the wood screws. So I went to the add SKU, it brings it up, gives me this item. I can go in and say, well, I purchased 1,000 of those, and click OK, and you'll see now that 1,000 is in inventory. And now what I just did, checking it on the fly here to see whether it would work, but it does. So because I went in and I changed that inventory, I went in and told it to auto calculate the order. So it was going to go in and now look at what was in inventory and adjust the items. On this page, you'll see the part numbers, the descriptions. You can add and delete SKUs from here. As you just saw, we added this on the inventory tool, we added the SKUs there. This was the job that you were wanting to add the 75-inch silver side. So I can do 20 silver side, and this will bring up every 20-inch silver side. I can just click on my NX pieces, put 2 of them in the job. So now it's added that down here. So once again, because I have this little orange box, I need to come down and hit auto calculate order for it to actually consider what was in there. The other thing it's looking at, besides what's in inventory, is what's in a pending job. And a pending job can be an order that is been placed with the factory, or it's an order that you've received but not yet installed. So it will look at what's in inventory, what's pending, and then determine what it needs, based what's in the design, and then what you need to order based on those figures. So once I go through and I have all of my items adjusted that I'm going to do on this order, I can hit the export to order form, and then it will bring up this, and you can see I've already done this. So that will bring up this job. I can go in and put in my multiplier of 41.8, and you'll see one of the benefits of this is to order that you're going in and you're ordering all the parts. Yeah, you should have that, making sure that grid wall accessory clip, it automatically is now ordering that. So that's what this item was about. And you can see it's already added that line in there. If you needed to, you can go in and make comments on each line or comments in the top. Once that's all done, I can save this and then close it, and then email that to orders@wipscarpentry.com. Once I've finished with the Excel form, you'll see that DaVinci has gone in and moved the current order into a pending order. Now, if I had made a mistake on this and I exported it before I added that line item in there for the parts, I could come back in, I could delete it and start this whole thing over again. But you want to make sure if you're having to reorder a job that you click down here to delete the order before you go in and reorder it again. So now that we're done with that, we've placed that order, I can go ahead and close out of this. I can go to the McFadden order and then do the same thing again just immediately after. I'm ready to go, got everything together, and now you'll see that the inventory tool is looking at what's in inventory, what's pending, and you'll see we have fast caps left over from the previous job. We have the wood dowels left over from the previous job. So anything that's pending, it's going to take that into consideration. And the reason that here we're showing 176 negative pending, it means it's going to take 176 out of the 1,000 we have here. It's still, we're way below the threshold. It needs to order it again, so it's going to keep everything at 0. So I can export this to the order form, click OK, and then enable the contents. And once again, it has only placed what has been ordered previously, or what you actually need to order on this job. Enter in my multiplier, and we're good to go down there. I'm going to save it, close it, and then now as we come back to the inventory tool again, now if I click on this little drop-down box, I can see both the Griffiths order and the McFadden order. And really, it's pretty much that easy. The only other thing you really need to know about this is once a job is installed, you can go in at this point from pending orders. After the job has been installed, I can receive that and merge that job to inventory. So what that did is it took any excess items and moved it now into inventory out of pending. So, and it's only giving me the surplus that was left on there. So let's just say, for instance, in this job, the customer decided they wanted that fourth 23 by 48 inch shelf in there. They wanted another adjustable. You have it left over. You can go ahead and give that to them while you're on the job site and sell it to them, however you want to do that. But you want to make sure that when you do that, that we come back in and we go in and we change this, because now I sold it to that customer. I actually have 0 left over in inventory, so I change that quantity to 0. It's asking me, do I want to delete this item? I can go ahead and say yes. The other thing at that same time, because I sold that, I know that I used 4 more shelf pins, which I don't actually see on here. Okay. Yeah, the shelf pins are over here on this job because they weren't part of the order. It didn't change those. So you could go in later down the road and reduce 4 of them. One thing I would do is I would come back in and with all of the parts, I would either order, all your hardware, I'd either order additional parts on the order form or come back in here and say, let's just take 100 of those out of there. I'm going to change the quantity to 40. So now when my inventory gets down to 100, it's going to order the next box of 200. So I ensure that I never have an issue with those items. So I call that safety stock. So you could go back in, change that to a low number and make sure that you've ordered extra and that you never run out of those parts. I can also, from here, I can print the inventory. If I want to go out and do a check on inventory from the pending jobs, I can also print the pending order. And this is kind of nice because from here, you can use this as your pick list and it will show items when they're If they're not ordered, yet they're on the job, you know you've got to go pull that off of the shelf. So once I've completed that, I can go ahead and close out of there, and I should be good to go. So if you have any questions, you can go ahead and reach out to me at 623-792-2245. I'd love to take a chance to discuss this inventory tool and see whether it would work for you. When I was a dealer, it's how I ordered the product, and it really saved me time and cash flow when it came to ordering the product. I'll talk to you soon.